Hello, welcome to my video for part 3 of the Karin guide. I wanted to take a little bit of time to say thank you so much for the support you guys have been giving me through the comments and requests. I will try my best to try to cover as many Karin topics as I can. I realize that this video took a little bit longer to make than usual, and I apologize for that. I've been kind of busy, and this one I try to put more effort into editing the video, so there's not a lot of time of me just like dawdling around and just saying random crap while I'm waiting for like the loading screens to come up. But if you want to see like the Karin guides being done live, I do have a Twitch channel at twitch.tv/sondtt. And you can also follow me on Twitter with the same address, twitter.com/sondtt, where I'll post updates on whether or not I'll be doing streams for that. If you just want to watch me play some Street Fighter V or other fighting games, you can also head on over to my Twitch channel. I will be more than happy to help people out. I will, in fact, like stop my matches and just sit down and give you guys some assist. I'm doing that a little bit with Street Fighter V and a little bit with Unist. So if you want to come over and practice some matches or just ask me questions about Karin, I will be happy to oblige. So I'll see you then. And please enjoy this video. Hello everyone, and welcome to another installment of my guide on Karin Kansuki. I know there were a few requests that people have made, and today we're going to be going into a little thing called anti-airing, which I personally think is one of the most important tools that took me a very long time to learn. I didn't learn how to anti-air until I was in the later Platinums, actually properly anti-airing. So normally the idea of anti-airing is to call out jump-ins, and a lot of cases you can also do it with cross-ups, but the issue that we have with Karin is that her anti-air is not fantastic. It has a lot to be desired for. So we're gonna let's just go back to without her jumping, because I'm gonna get disoriented. So she has a few anti-air buttons to do. So the one that I like to use the most, and is normally the most common, is crouching heavy punch. And that's pretty easy. Just hold down, back, heavy punch. The other one is standing heavy punch, which is a little bit more tricky, but it's actually not too bad either. And then what we can also do, she also has a jab anti-air, but this one is a little bit on the riskier side compared to other characters. It is pretty fast, and she can get a side switch, just like most of the other roster can. Anyways, so we're going to be showing an example for each anti-air. So we're going to start with the one that I normally like to do. So it's this one. And remember that this one also has crushing properties, but let's turn off crush for now. So this is what it normally looks like. And then you can also do this. Not bad, not bad. And now you can also just do a jab as well. So it's a jab, jab. The difference is that this one resets the game much faster than the other ones. You also do jab, jab if you're not very confident, but I wouldn't do that, but I mean, it's your life. So that's pretty much the gist of doing anti-airs, but there's a little bit more you can kind of talk about other than just how to do them. So we're gonna go a little bit into the idea behind anti-airing. So we're just going to go and set this from dummy to playback recording, and we're gonna make Sakura do her. No, that's not a very good jump in. Let's go back a little bit. There we go. So we'll do Sakura's jumping in, and that's from a bit of a low angle. So this will be a little bit more challenging to call out. So there we go. So she's gonna jump in. Oops. As you can tell, you do get a crushing property whenever you call out a button before it's pressed, and you can do a follow-up normally. But we're not gonna go into that so much. We're just gonna do the regular ones, and then when you do this anti-air, you can just go. See, this is where it's a little bit more risky. I'm not as confident using this one. You have to time it a little bit differently. This one you kind of have more time to call it out. And then whenever you do this one's actually not too bad either. This one's pretty easy to do. But I still wouldn't count on it because, like, situations like this are a little bit more risky. Yeah, and someone just brought it up. You can use Raw Tenko to anti-air, but Raw Tenko is a bit of a risk. Like, yeah, it's... You can do other situations with anti-air, such as doing, if you catch someone doing it from a long distance, but again, this is a little bit more on the advanced side that we're going to cover in her advanced topics, like, in the future. Right now, we're just going to be focusing on the gist of the very basics, like, what you want to expect when you first pick up Karin, because I don't exactly want to go too much into the deeper parts of Karin's game plan, because there's a lot of topics to cover. So right now, we're just going to go through the easier stuff. So I'm going to set up a situation, alright, where someone is just doing... Let's just keep it at that. We're going to do a playback recording of, like... She's just going to be doing this one as well. Okay. So... This is the one that we're going to be talking about. Like, you can get a crush, and... This is what I hate about this. So you can do a... Sakura is being uncooperative. This is why I don't play her right now. Okay, so you can do a follow-up like this, and you can get a nice side switch. So the input for that is doing your anti-air, followed by standing heavy punch, right? So, anti-air. See, this is where my argument of Karin's anti-air is not very good as, like, showing. And you could do a side switch like that. You can also kind of delay it a little bit, so you can go like this, and then still keep it on the same side. And the difference between that is just her dashing. So, let's actually turn on my inputs just so I can show. Key display on. Okay, so normally the idea is anti-air, heavy punch, then light dash, which is just done quarter circle forward dash. And that's for the same side. You just have to delay it just a slight bit, so when you end the dash, you still are in front of him. But if you delay it if you delay it a little too much, they'll catch on. They'll be like, oh, well, you're gonna stay on the same side, obviously. There's no way you can side switch at this point. So what you want to do is slightly delay it, just so they have to make the reaction a lot quicker instead of seeing that long delay and be like, okay, I'll just hold the same side. So another thing you can do is pressing medium, and that's for when you want to get the side switch. So you do this to do the crush, and then do this to make the person stay in the air, and then you follow up with your dash. It's a pretty simple procedure, but it takes a little bit of time. Like, it took me a good while before I got used to it. Obviously, you don't use heavy. I would not do that. That is probably not advisable. Anyways, yeah, like, this is a bit preference-based. I personally prefer this one because it gives you a little bit more time. And also there's a chance of getting crushed. That's kind of the idea of doing crouching HB, is baiting for a crush. And it's normally whenever they're about to do their attack button, but they're a little bit, like, overcommitting. So if someone, like, does a heavy one, you can crush it pretty easily. So, this is where the interesting part comes in. Jumping. So we're just gonna have her jump, yeah. We're just gonna have her dummy jump. So you can normally do this as well. You can normally do like this as well and do a side switch. Though you kind of have a little bit less to work with if it's just off of a regular anti-air and not a crush one. You could try to maybe like go like this just to give them a little bit like less time to react, but it's still like the preferable thing is if you get this the crush. Like, if you just get a random anti-air, that's fine too. But this is kind of a nicer situation to put yourself in. I like this one a lot more. It's pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna go into the jab anti-air now. The one that I'm not as wild about, but it is what it is. Like, you can... So yeah, you can still like... So you can still, like, do, like, your little jab reset, and then, bam. Well, obviously, you're not gonna jump multiple times. Actually, let's just put the dummy on, like, jump once, and then delay a little bit. So we're gonna go action recording settings. So we're just gonna go boom, and just keep it that way. There we go. So this'll be all right. This is like a lot better for other characters, but Karin's is like, it still like does the same job. Whoops. Yeah, see, like, I'm not as wild about Karin's jab anti-air. Like, Sakura has a really good one because she gets a lot of options off of her, and you're set in a position where you have to deal with a throw situation or like her pressing a meaty, so you are kind of put in a really bad situation. But yeah, this one is just whatever. She just does like a regular jump, and it's like, yeah. Like, you could still get some pretty cool situations. Like, I'm not gonna, like, completely be like, don't bother with this. Like, because you could still do some pretty cool stuff. Okay. So, that much is pretty cool and all. And these are pretty much, like, the basic, like, buttons. You can do this one as well. Like, you could still do a situation like this. It's still pretty alright. So, Sakura's gonna jump again. And I'm gonna be like, eh. Yeah, still the optimal situation, at least for me, is like normally going for crush and then following up with standing heavy punch. And you can also get pretty creative if you want. You don't have to follow like these 3 buttons. You can definitely come up with other situations. Like right now, we're gonna go to a character named Ed. So this is where we're gonna kind of go into like characters that kind of have really good cross-ups, and it shows where Karin's like weakness comes. So we're going to switch to a character named Birdie for a second, and I'm going to make a point. So right now we have Ed sitting right over here, and we have Birdie sitting right over here. So Ed has a really good cross-up. Like, it's really butter thin. So I'm going to show you how good of a cross-up Ed's is. So Ed, we're just going to make him go like... We're just going to make him go... No, that's not a cross-up. Oh, slightly missed it. I'm not an Ed player, so I played Ed for like a little bit just to learn the matchup, but yeah, that's a really good cross-up. That's a super good cross-up. So we're just gonna sit here with Birdie, and we're gonna do Birdie's anti-air with it, okay? Yeah, look at how good Birdie's anti-air is. It's ridiculously good. So he's just gonna go. That's a little too close. And then, oops. Oh, no, wait. That's not how you do this command grab. Is that it? Okay. So you can do like this. Oh, you can go. And there you go. You got yourself a situation. That's like, it's obnoxious getting anti-aired by Birdie because he has so many options he can do against you. There you go. Or, like, if he catches you pressing a button, just boom, shut up. Or even I fought birdies who were just, like, doing this. They're like, hey, don't get close. Why are you trying to get close, huh? Huh? Or, like, watch. Like, or you could do this. And then, like, this is fine against a Karin player. So, Birdie has a great anti-air. So let's go to Karin, who has a not great anti-air. Like, a little bit of a questionable anti-air, in fact. Okay. So we're just gonna have him. See? Like, this is the issue with Karin's anti-air. It is not very good at handling cross-ups. Even then, I got traded. See? Sucks. Well, that one's just... Like, he has to do it, like, right in front. Like, if you have a cross-up situation, Ed will win. At the very best, he will get a cross-up, or he will get a trade, and it just resets. So, there's a bit of an answer you can have to it. So you can go... Oh, whoops. You can go and go for an air-to-air. Like, this is your option that you can do. The issue with doing an air-to-air is that, A, you don't really get a ton of damage, so that kind of sucks. B, it resets the situation, and sometimes, like, there are some characters who will, like, go straight into DP, so you kind of are put, like, in a position of, like, okay, well, you have to kind of get a read of the player. I'm not wild about that. I don't like. I don't particularly enjoy having like a read on the player like in these kinds of scramble situations. Like, but you can do that. You can also do this, or like if you catch him about to jump at you, and you're like, okay, this guy's just gonna keep jumping. You could do that and then do a follow up with it. I'm not good at doing the follow up. And it's jump back light kick. Yeah, it's a jump back light kick. But yeah, this is like the air that you can do, but it's if you can kind of get a read on the player of like, okay, this player is jumping way too much at me. And that's actually pretty good. You have to be a little bit like willing to like play a bit in the air. And that's kind of like where some of like my personal fears come from, like this specific like matchup, because I don't like going at air to airs. Like air to airs to me are kind of scary. Even though Karin's air to air is actually pretty good. Like standing light kick is very good, in fact, or jumping light kick is very good. But yeah, that's like one of the options you can have against that. So like the other issue is when you go for this one, you don't really get much of a follow up. You can do that with a medium punch, but again, you have to be in a good position to do it. But like this one, just like you don't get much damage, you don't get like any Oki, you just get a reset. And sometimes that's okay. Like sometimes you are near the end of a match and you just all you want is for him not to get damage on you, and this is an answer for it, and that's cool. So that's like one of your options you can have if you want to take things to the air. So we're going to go to one of the final topics we're going to talk about today. And that's characters that have very vague air game. So we're going to be going to M. Bison specifically for like seeing like a character that has a very vague air game that you can't exactly like make sure what he's capable of. But it's alright. Yeah, I hate fighting this character. Okay. So we're at M. Bison. So M. Bison kind of sucks to fight sometimes. So we're just gonna be doing a good old Devil's Reverse. And then we're gonna try to just block it. Like, you can try to anti-air it, but like, again, depending on the player, it's a bit of a risk. See? Yeah, just block. And that's kind of like a sad issue that some of the characters have, of just like, you just have to block. Because like, if you try to contest it, you're going to get hit. But you can try to do this. Some characters have very strange, like, hurt boxes. And M. Bison is one of those characters. His Devil's Reverse actually has a really strange hurt box. And you can actually, there are some times where M. Bison's trying to go behind me, but like his hurt box is so extended that you can actually do that, even though the animation is very misleading, because it looks like he should be able to win it out. So we're just going to try to do that, actually. So I just did the input for Devil's Reverse. So we're just going to go like this. Oh yeah, you're supposed to hold a block. I forgot. So... okay, so he should be flying forward when I do this. Yeah, see? Again. Scary, isn't it? But we can do it. So... yeah. Again, scary position to be in. Like, sometimes it's not worth it. Maybe we can try to... we could try to do that. Again, it's M. Bison, and I kind of don't want to play that kind of game. Because as soon as we, like, go down, he can do standing heavy kick. Like, that's the issue. Like, you have to think, like, a step forward of, like, okay, well, I just won the A to A. That's neat. But, like, what can he follow up with? Oh, he can go for crush. Like, you just have to keep thinking, like, one step at a time. I will say, this is still a position that you win in, but, like, not by much. But you try that, I guess. And that's part of the game of anti-airing, is experimenting character by character. And M. Bison is a character that sometimes you just have to block. Like, this is actually a situation where you can do, let me do, you can do that, and then full block, and then keep fighting. You don't always have to engage. Like, that's a big lesson you have to learn in fighting games, is you don't have to engage every single time you're fighting a character. So we're gonna go to Birdie for a little bit, and we're gonna play the, hey, you should probably be blocking, because this is a really good jump-in game. Again, Karin is a character that, like, you have to kind of know, like, which characters you can challenge on their jump-ins and which characters you don't. I wish I had, like, footage of me actually doing, the anti-air on Bison's Devil's Reverse, but it'd be that way sometimes. Okay, so Birdie is a character that sometimes just has a fantastic jump-in. Like, I'm not gonna be saying that don't try to anti-air, don't try to do this. Like, it's an experimentation thing. Like, you just have to experiment and see, like, which situations work and which ones don't. Actually, let me see. Let me actually go look up on my Twitter real quick and see. So we're just gonna... So this is gonna be an example of a situation where, Bison's, this is gonna be a situation where Bison's Devil's Reverse gets called out by Karin. Like... It's actually kind of a gross situation, but, you know. Okay. As you can see, he goes for a Devil's Reverse, and look at that disjointed hurt box. Like, this was from, like, knowledge of the matchup. Like, I knew specifically in that angle I could get a trade. Like, I knew that going into it, because I was like, yeah, obviously, like, this is a situation where Bison can actually get traded. And again, this is just, like, based off of practice. Like, you just have to kind of, like, learn from the matchup. So, right here, you see? Like, this is a situation that Bison should be getting a jump in, but look, he got hit by my anti-air. Because, again, I practiced that, and I knew when M. Bison is going for a Devil's Reverse at that angle, his hurt box is long enough that I can go for a trade. And I knew that if he went for it, it wouldn't kill me. It would kill him first. So I went for a risk. This was a risky situation, but I knew that I would probably win it out. Like, the risk was that we could potentially get a double KO. But this was an answer that I found. And that's kind of where, like, the stuff with anti-airing kind of goes. Of, like, you just have to practice and know, like, hey, this is a situation that I know I could win. This is not often, like, something that can be found in every match. But just having that knowledge can really help in certain matches. So, yeah, that's a specific match where the anti-air situation was in my favor. But now let's look at a matchup that, like, you may not want to, like, risk it if you're, like, low on health. Birdie has a good jump in. And you sometimes have to just respect it. Yeah, it's jumping medium punch. Like, this is a pretty good jump in. Like... A lot of Birdie players will try that on a Karin because they're like, you know, I can kind of get away with it. Like, see? Like... Oh, that was an accident, so obviously it's gonna get hit, but... Sometimes it'll work out. But, like, there are just some times where you can just do... Okay, I'm gonna block. I'm just gonna block and walk back. Let's just play the blocking game. Like, you don't have to commit to every single situation, and that's, like, a big lesson that a lot of beginners should be learning, is you don't have to go in a situation where you're like, okay, I want to go in guns blazing and go for the win. Like, you can sometimes just block and wait for them to screw up, and this is one of the situations where I would sometimes just go for the block. Okay. So that about wraps it up in anti-airing. So right now what we're going to be doing is something I haven't done in a hot second. And that's playing a match live and not worrying so much on whether or not I'm going to win the match, but more so worrying about, like, how to do my anti-air stuff. So we're just going to go into casual match, and it doesn't matter, 3-5. But yeah, we're just going to focus on getting an anti-air down. We're not going to be doing, like, any fancy intricacies or being like, okay, well, I have to win this match. Like, we're going to try our best, but my focus is going to be getting anti-airs down. This one will be edited in a little while. I'll probably edit it tonight, but thank you so much. I really appreciate this. I will be continuing making as many guides as I can, so I really do appreciate these nice comments. Thank you again. Okay, so we're just going to be focusing on anti-airing. So, okay, he started off with a bit of a risky button, so anti-air. Jump. No, I dare you. Okay, that was a bit of a bad anti-air. Nice overhead. So we're just going to be spacing him a little bit. Okay, he's going for neutral jump. Okay, I thought he was going to throw me, so that's why I did that. See, I tried to do jumping light kick. It wasn't as good. Here we go, just anti-air. He's jumping a lot, so this is actually pretty good for me. Just gonna go for a V-trigger setup. He's probably gonna try to do a try and stop me. Yeah, I figured. let's reset. Oh, I thought he was gonna go for overhead. That's okay. Okay. I was gonna go for super because I knew that I would chip him to death. Is the Minot matchup really bad? Yes and no. She's kind of a really big pain when she's in V-Trigger. But, the idea with the Minot matchup is actually kind of similar in that you need to just, like... You need to just deal with the idea that she can have a huge comeback in V-Trigger, and you just have to, like, get her knocked down and then bully her. Kind of like you do with Balrog. Anti-air. Okay, I'm going to try to do a side switch on the next one. Jump. Jump. Jump, 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 jump. Come on. He's now just going for rush punches. He's over-committing a little bit, though. Yeah, he's doing unsafe rush punches right now. I'm just going to go for the kill. That's a long-reaching normal. I figured I could reach. Yeah, see? Like, just have to, like, that's actually one of the biggest things a lot of people can try to do, is not worry so much about winning, but kind of make a checklist on their head and be like, hey, you know, like, this match I'm just going to focus on doing anti-airs. Was that, I tried to anti-air. Yeah, I focused a lot on that. Like, when I wanted to get better at the game, I was, like, doing a checklist of, like, okay, I have to anti-air. So I'm just going to practice doing sets. I'm not going to care about, like, the win or the loss. We're just going to focus on calling out people with their normals. Nice! Okay. Don't be pressing too many heavy buttons, my friend. Oh, wow. You called out the cheap stuff. Nope. Don't jump. Oh, wow. That was a good spin punch. Just going to go for a throw. Okay. Okay, so now I know he's going for a punch every single time I do a block, so he's going to go for... Oh, wow, he didn't go for an overhead. Wow, 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 wow. I was surprised. I thought he was going to go for an overhead. It's fine. Okay. One, nice throw. I'm just looking for... Oh, okay, that's not safe. Ooh, I didn't punish it properly. That's definitely not safe. Nice. This guy's good at countering throws. Okay, go for another jump in. I'm just focusing on jump ins right now. Yeah, be reversal. Just gonna block it. And he's gonna press a button. I didn't want to risk it. So we're just gonna... Yeah, he's going for V-trigger activation. I could feel it in my bones. Oh, he doesn't have V-trigger, actually. I stand corrected. Okay, he does now. That's that. Yeah, that's that. Nice. Very good. Now you got a hot dog on your french fry here, Karin. Yeah. So... Alright. So we're gonna be focusing on doing these anti-airs despite it killing me, but it's okay. I want to catch him doing a neutral jump. That's not a neutral jump. Wow, this guy is out of control. He's out of there. Okay, buddy. Don't get too confident. Oh, wow. He is getting pretty confident. He's like, you chump. I got your number. Yeah, he's not jumping as much anymore. He is pressing some heavy buttons, so I'm just going to keep doing that. Okay, so we're just gonna get a little fancy. Okay, you're gonna press a heavy button. Yeah. I knew it. Right now, there's not a lot of anti-airs going on. I don't think this guy wants to do anti-airs anymore. Let's do a neutral jump. See what he's gonna do. Okay, that's not safe. I'll just try you. Okay, jump. No. There you go. That's kind of an anti-air, in like a not really sense. Stop pressing that, buddy boy. Okay, well, that's about it. Sorry, I had to play some Karin a little bit, because I was like, oh no, he's overcommitting. I just can't let it end that way. I have to finish it. Oh dear. But yeah, see, anti-airs are great. But anyways, I hope you see the power of being able to do anti-airs in this game. They're really cool. You can get some cool side switches. You can practice on those things. But like, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of homework. Everyone loves doing homework. Part of my like occupation is being a teacher, so like I have to give homework to people. So we're gonna do a little bit of homework for tonight. So this is what I want you guys to do. For the next time, we're gonna be having another Karin guide. Pick your favorite Karin. Pick your favorite character you want to anti-air. I like Cammy. Cammy's cool. I don't like fighting Cammy as much, but you know, you just gotta sometimes take it. So, what we're going to be doing is, we're going to be having Cammy here. She's going to be your example. So, my homework for tonight for all you guys, or just homework until the next time I do another Karin tutorial, is, I'm going to play back recording, right? I want you to practice AAing specific special moves. Practice AAing regular moves. And practice just AAing just anything. And I want you to practice these, and I want you guys to get used to just doing anti-airs. Like, they don't have to be correct all the time, but I just want you to get used to it. And just do sets. And maybe mix it up, you know? Make it so she does an empty jump-in and have a little rule of no pressing anti-air during jump-ins. So you're going to have to practice on your reaction skills. And then do it where she does cannon spike. So you're not just looking for an anti-air. Okay? And just mix it up and have a rule of like, okay, so if she does cannon spike and screws up, you have to do a crush combo. That one wasn't a good crush combo, you get my point. Okay? Okay, she did a raw jump in. Going into here. There you go. Oh, see? I broke the rule. Oh, broke the rule again. And see, that's how you get, like, used to it. This is how you get used to doing anti-airs and looking for them, but at the same time not focusing on them. Because if you just focus on anti-airs when other, like, the player is doing other stuff, like, you're clearly not going to, like... You're clearly not going to, like, play the match, like, super well. Like, you need to... You need to be looking at the match in multiple angles. Like, you can't just be like, okay, well, I'm just going to call out jump-ins, but if he, like, does an unsafe thing or, like, presses a button that's overcommitting, well, I'm not going to punish that because I was focusing on anti-airs. Like, no, you need to be good at everything. Above average at everything. And that's my homework for you guys for this weekend. So, anyways, I hope you guys have a really good week. I'll be thinking about new topics to put, and if you guys want any topics for me to cover, just go on my YouTube page, at me on Twitter, even on Twitch, you can ask me. And I will happily oblige. And let's all get better with Karin together. But we're all going to have to practice, we're all going to have to learn. But just let me know if you want to learn anything. If you want to message me on Discord to, like, get specific things answered, you can ask me away and I will happily answer. Anyways, this is S on GTT signing out. And I hope you guys have yourselves a great time playing Karin, and let's all get good with Karin.